I want you to argue in favor. I want you to be vegan gains for right now. Can you do that?
Sure. The reason why the logic doesn't hold is because vegans think that killing animals and then eating the consumed animal is immoral. So there is no weird utilitarian math you can do to justify.
And let's put this to a vegan then. How many cow lives is equal to one human
Nobody
life?
cares. How many 75-year-olds
So
are
you
equal to a
won't.
2-year-old? No, you can't.
So
You can't.
dodge my to advocate for veganism when you could instead
your life, then,
advocate
working
for
class
something
Andy.
which would save human lives.
No, this is like there's a.
that I won, and you're trying to weasel out. You're very
No,
good.
you're.
but
It's
I'm
not.
better.
We're not weaseling. Hi.
Hello, sir. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
How's Elden Ring going?
It's gone.
I caught your conversation. It went well.
Yeah, I mean, most of the educated people that I talk to, we all seem to agree, but that sounds like a big circle jerk, but what am I going to say?
I want to do something with you here. If you feel like you can lend some concentration,
Yeah, sure.
I would like you there's an argument I was thinking about the other night. I want to just try it out on you. So
Okay.
I want you to argue in favor. I want you to be vegan gains for right now. Can you do that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So let me start out. So what does he always argue about? He argues that veganism is good and everyone should do it and whatnot, right?
Well, what we argue basically is that humans are protected life because they're sentient. Animals have sentience as well. We ought to believe that, and we ought to value the suffering of all sentient life. So we should reduce the suffering of sentient life. And,
Okay.
yeah.
So let me start. Let's do some points. So I'd like you to concede some points before right at the start here, and tell me if you think you would have any problems conceding any of them. So now remember, you're vegan gains right now. You're not Steven.
Okay.
So the points that I would like to have conceded for the start of this argument is one, that in general it costs more money to be vegan than to not be vegan.
I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but I'll concede it. Yeah, because I think that has been something people have acknowledged in the past. But sure.
Or if you will, to have the same standard
Quality,
of
yeah.
of
Because I think
quality.
like you can eat a lot of like beans and rice.
Yeah,
but, like,
sure.
those
But like,
guys
who wants to
kind of
fucking
suck.
who
Yeah.
wants to fucking eat
Exactly,
like beans
yeah.
and rice all day? You know, like. Okay, the second point I'd like conceded. There's a few of these, 5 of these. The second point is that by being vegan, the nature of that, you're kind of sacrificing enjoyment, right? So I'm sure that vegans get used to it, but at the start, I think for the most of them, you're gonna, if you're hungry and you're walking by and there's a fresh pepperoni pizza that you can smell or something like that, I think that you're going to, you're gonna want that, and you're sacrificing. Hold on 1 second, someone's at my door.
Okay.
1 second. Sorry. Okay, I'm back.
So okay, if I end up conceding too many of these, then the argument is going to become that vegan is.
Well, no,
entirely
I mean,
liberal,
if you-
like,
no,
what the response is going to be is 2 things. One, some people that are vegan will say they legitimately like don't even enjoy meat that much anymore. That like the smell of it and the thought of it is like kind of gross, and they might compare it to say like, let's say that I like waft in front of your nose a very tasty smelling, well seasoned piece of human flesh. Are you going to be really hungry for it? Like some vegans will say,
yeah, I
number one.
understand this point, but I
Sure.
would say that if you ask most vegans, you say, "Hey, is there any foods that you kind of
Possibly.
really miss you don't have?"
Yeah, sure,
I would
I
say
understand.
most of them say, "Oh, I miss ice cream," or "I miss this
maybe
or that."
sure. Well, I mean, there are vegan alternatives to a lot of these as well that have gotten like pretty decent. The second thing, though, the second argument that some people will make is that in some ways, being vegan frees your diet up a bit more because you're not enslaved to the idea that you have to have a meaty protein with every single meal. Because if you're like a normal person, like me, I say normal, a non-vegan person who eat meat, it feels very weird to ever have been served a meal that doesn't have a meat with it. Like that doesn't feel like a real meal to me. That feels like I don't even know what I'm getting. If I get a meal that doesn't have a meat on it. And some vegans would argue that like, well, that's because you've been so heavily conditioned to eat meat that like you can't even conceive of a meal without meat in it. Yeah, I mean, so I can understand some people saying like, yeah, sure, in some ways, like maybe vegans are missing some things, but they also get to expand their diets in other ways. It just depends. Yeah.
Okay, so I would counter that a little bit by saying that like there's plenty of people who go deaf completely, and then after interacting with the deaf community, even if presented with the option like, "Hey, would you like to get your hearing back?" and they say no. I don't. This is better. I like this more. This is not a meme. This is a real thing. Like a lot of people who are deaf do not desire to have their hearing back. And I think that by saying, oh, once you're vegan, once you suffer enough and you stay away from this thing for a long enough time, you don't even want it anymore. I don't think that's a good reason. In general, like most people kind of would want this. I think in
Okay, sure.
general.
Yeah,
That's the
I guess
case.
I wouldn't concede this. I would fight harder, but I'll concede it for the sake of the discussion. Okay.
Okay, okay. The third one's kind of simple, that animal lives are less important and less valuable than human lives.
Sure.
Um, the next one is that you personally, going vegan or not going vegan, will have pretty much zero effect on the amount of animals that are slaughtered.
Sure.
And then the last point, this is a little bit of a tricksy one, but most people in general will only be able to advocate for one, maybe two causes throughout their life. Like, if you find the average person, they probably care about fucking
I would
guns.
never
And
agree with this. So,
really, you think that there's more than one or two causes that people like really
I mean,
define
you
most
can't be
people?
like an activist for every cause, but you can definitely care about more than
Well,
one
yeah. Well, so
activity.
I'm saying like activism, like the shit that like you post on your fucking Facebook nonstop about. I would say that most people are going to have one or two things that like consumes them, and it might be like fucking abortion or gun control
I mean, if you're
or
like a loony over one issue, I guess, but I think most people have a variety, like a handbasket of. But
of things that actually consume. I have a handbasket of things. Everyone does, but I'm saying of things that like actually like you're really passionate about. Like this is the main thing.
okay, let's say that I agree with this. Go with the next one.
Well, that's it. Okay, so my general argument would here be that being vegan, by nature of doing that, by spending more money by being vegan, you're also inconveniencing yourself because it's more difficult to find food. You're also punishing yourself a little bit because in general, you're going to probably have, I don't want to say worse tasting food, but certainly less options, right?
Okay.
Like it's not. So by doing that, you're inflicting negative results on your life. You have less money, and you're kind of fucking yourself up a little bit by being able to do that. And if my argument would be that if you're going to do that, there's better causes to fuck yourself up a little bit, like lose a little bit of money, and to inconvenience yourself than being vegan. I would start there. For instance, I was saying, let's say that the average cost is $5 a day by being vegan versus not being vegan. I would say that it's better to not be vegan and instead take that $5 and donate that to a cause that has a definitive payback to saving lives.
Okay.
And that by being vegan, there's only so much capital you have and so many causes that you can really be active about that you kind of cost human lives as a result of that.
Okay. Is there anything else? Or?
Well, I mean, I can give more things than that. Like, there's a lot
And
of
so
things.
you're
Like,
coming at this from like a very kind of like utilitarian perspective of like, well, ultimately, like ultimately, like what can we do instead with our money and time to do this other thing, right?
Well, no, I would argue
like,
that being vegan kills people. Okay. Sure, like that.
Like,
yeah,
hey,
go ahead.
let me take this logic and do something different, okay? Let's
Sure.
say that I go out and I spend $100 drinking, every Friday and Saturday night. I like drinking, I like partying, I spend this money, right? What if instead I got like 15 people together, okay? And we all spend that much, okay? So it's like $3,000 a weekend. I got 15 people together, and instead we just tie up one woman and all of us rape her every Saturday, Sunday, and then we donate all of that extra money to like a women's protection society, right? Instead we do that. Chances are, no. You just got
I'm not following it.
No. You just got to ramble for 12 hours, okay?
No, I mean,
what I could argue,
I
could argue is
so
that
instead of drinking, you would rape someone?
Yeah,
no,
you just do that for a Saturday, Sunday, okay? Yeah. What I could argue then is using this logic, okay? I could basically say like, hey, like by not getting your friends together and just gang raping one woman on a Saturday, Sunday and spending all the money otherwise you would have spent going out and partying, if you would have spent that money and donated it, you are actually contributing to the harm of women by not gang raping a woman on a Saturday or Sunday. Like, the reason why the logic doesn't hold is because vegans think that killing animals and then eating the consumed animal is immoral. So there is no weird utilitarian math you can do to justify partaking in that immoral activity. You might be able to argue in a very esoteric utilitarian sense that we can do more good at the end of the day, but those arguments are almost sociopathic, and to a vegan that views a moral imperative to not directly contribute to the suffering or harm of animals, to be eating them, and then to just say, well, I can donate some money elsewhere. You can't erase a wrong by, opportunity cost. You can't get rid of a moral wrong by just donating some money somewhere. Like, nobody's going to be satisfied that's an ethical vegan with that answer.
Okay, well, sure. So they would have to. So the entirety of your argument is that it's moral to be vegan, because I would say that it probably is moral to be vegan, but it's more moral because I can only choose one. I only have $1. Okay, and that dollar can either go towards me eating vegan today, or it can go towards me donating it to a charity. And those are the options. So there are a lot of moral options, but you have
Yeah,
to
but at the
choose.
end of the day, if everybody, let's say we maximize this fucking moral principle, or whatever,
Oh no, I
right?
agree. You can't. You can't.
Well, no,
But
no, but let's say
that's
we
bigger.
did. It'd be better if everybody went vegan instead of donating $1 to charity. Like,
I don't think that's the case, actually.
well, of
Why
course
would it
it
be
is.
better if everyone
Because you
went
wouldn't need to
vegan?
donate to any charities for veganism because everybody would just be vegan.
No, no, you could just donate. First off, I wouldn't donate to a charity for veganism. I would say donating to a charity to like help people that are starving in other countries, or to helping war victims, or anything along those lines. That's the type of charity I'm talking about. I'm just saying you're better off
Okay, but
saving
like
people.
now, haven't we gotten to the point to where we've like justified, like we can justify any bad activity by like trying to pay some, like we're basically treating ethics like carbon credits.
Um, I mean, in a certain extent, I would say that the average person only has so much capital that they can
It
get
doesn't matter.
across.
You're still treating ethics like carbon credits. That if I spend enough elsewhere, I can excuse some other immoral behavior. Nobody views ethics this way, except for like maybe the most like sociopathic, like
Okay,
consequentialists.
like no, I don't think that's the case, because look at the amount of shit that people get for like fucking Bezos going to space or something like that, even though he's saying it's a net good, because that's all money that could have gone to do a million other things, and you can't disagree that that's a fact.
I would
That
disagree
money.
with that. I think it's stupid. I wouldn't agree with that. That's a dumb criticism of Bezos. But
Okay. I mean, in my eyes, I feel like by being vegan, there are other options that you could take. Like being vegan is kind of like an act of like you could say, oh, it doesn't really affect you, it just costs a little bit of money, but there's a lot of things that people could do that cost them nothing and choose not to as well. Like for instance, like if every time you tweeted from now on you added like the hashtag like Rohingya genocide to the end, you could draw attention to that and like potentially help lives and get people to donate, but you don't, right? You just flat out don't. And probably the vegan gains guy doesn't, and other people that advocate for vegan stuff don't. So where like at what point is something that's literally free, literally costs someone nothing to do, and it's not done? How can you even advocate for something
there's a
like
difference
this?
between not doing a thing versus doing a bad thing. These are two fundamentally different concepts, right? Like
Um,
me, like it might be the case that I could contribute an hour of my time to going to the beach every day for the rest of my life, and maybe I'll save a human life. But me not doing that wouldn't be the same as me drowning somebody. These aren't moral equivalents.
oh, so we're kind of at the argument now. Like you walk in on someone in the bathtub. Do you have a responsibility to save them?
That's different because the opportunity is like right there and presented,
So
right?
this
To
is
make
back
your,
to like proximity based like moral system.
I mean, yeah, but I think that there's a reasonable effort. Like if I told you right now that there was a 20% chance that you could save a kid's life if you fly to India and you camp out in a certain street for the next 30 days, that's a lot different than like you see a kid wandering in front of the street in front of you and just reach forward and pull him back, right? I think it's fair to say that these are
Sure,
two
sure.
more.
I agree with like proximity based. I 100% agree with that. I think that all morals are based around personal proximity. 100%
Not
for sure.
100%, but to some extent, sure.
I think most extent. Otherwise, how can you like do anything moving forward?
I mean, if I found if I found a way to power your servers with child rape and it saved you 10
Why does
cents.
everything lead to this direction?
Because your moral statements are ridiculous, and you need to realize how ridiculous they are. But you're trying to pad it with fucking animals that nobody gives a fuck about, so they don't seem as ridiculous, right? But if I were to tell you that you could power your servers with child rape and you'd save 20 cents a month on it, right? You're not gonna say like, well, as long as I never see the child's asshole getting fucking pummeled by some 30-year-old dude, it's fine. You're gonna say no, that's kind of fucked. I'm not gonna do that. That's fucked up. Just because I don't have like a proximity to it doesn't make it okay. So yeah, proximity stuff is gonna like inform some things, right? Like if I had the opportunity to save 2 kids right in front of me versus 3 kids around the world, I'd probably save the 2 kids right in front of me, sure. But that's not like the defining factor for all of our morals.
Sure, but I'm going back to the fact here and like maybe like draw this a little bit closer to me. Like I view the person, if we concede just one of the things here, that it costs $5 extra a day to be vegan versus not, I feel like that's an easy drop-in change to make where you can do good with your money.
What? No, why? But you're avoiding a bad act. The act of eating meat is bad. You don't do a bad act so that you can use some weird utilitarian calculus to make it not bad. Like, oh, like, because at that point, if we reframe it very slightly, you're essentially saying, I want to pay $5 a day to do something really bad. So again, why can't I donate $50 a day to a woman's shelter and then go rape a woman? Like, I'm donating money, right? Isn't it good? Like, it doesn't work that way. You can't pay. They're not carbon credits. You can just pay to do bad things, and then it becomes a good thing because you paid to do it.
Yes, I'm thinking like, so in one case here, you're putting one thing higher than the other. That's just the de facto thing that's happening, right?
What one thing higher than the other? What?
No, you are. You're saying, oh, you can't say you're doing this, that. Either you are going to eat meat and have an extra $5, or you are not, right? Would you concur? Those are the two options there are. There is no third option here. Yes.
Sure.
So the option is you either stay with meat and have an extra $5, or you don't.
Yep.
And so, but by going and eating meat, you have the $5, which you could then donate to a charity and save a human life instead of an animal life.
But you can't just.
Why? You could. That's literally a choice.
Because it's immoral. If you think that it's unethical,
it's more immoral to let the child fucking die. You have $5. It is more immoral if you know for certain. And I'll even grant you this. On my world, it's not always certain that you have $5.
So then here's the question. Then the question is, if somebody offers you $100 a day to rape a woman every day, but you donate that money to a woman's shelter, or whatever, is it immoral then to not rape the woman?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, say this again.
I'm offering you $100 a day to rape a woman, okay? Should you do it? Because if you don't, then that's not, you don't have $100 to donate to a shelter.
You're inflicting on someone else's agency, I guess, first of all.
Yeah, no shit. What do vegans think about animals? You're taking away their agency by fucking torturing and eating them.
No, I know that vegans believe that animals have sentience and everything else like that, but I also ask you to concede at the start of this conversation that even if that's true, that human sentience is more valuable.
But it doesn't matter. More valuable doesn't make something else or not unvaluable, non-valuable.
It doesn't make it unvaluable. It makes it less valuable.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's still a thing that you ought to value. Like, okay, I value the life of a 5-year-old way more than I do of a 75-year-old in general. But that's not going to factor into too many moral decisions where it's like, okay, like I was drunk driving, but I only killed like a couple 75-year-olds, so it's okay. That's what you're trying to say right now, right? A vegan, most reasonable vegans will tell you, yeah, of course we value human life more than animal life, but you want to take that and be like, oh, sick, I'm going to go eat a ton of animals then because you value human life more. No, you still value the animal life.
I agree that they value the animal life, but there's probably a large delta in between those two.
No, there wouldn't be. Not a large delta, no.
I think there should be a large delta. I think there should be.
That's because you're not vegan. You don't give a fuck.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, then let's put this to a vegan then. How many cow lives is equal to one human?
Nobody cares. How many 75-year-olds are equal to a 2-year-old? No, you can't.
So you can't dodge my question. I'll do yours after you do mine.
I don't think morality works that way. Like, what's worse? Like, stealing $5 from a poor person or stealing $7 from a slightly less poor person? Like, let's analyze the marginal utility of their dollars. Like,
okay, I'm assuming that these numbers are much bigger. So let me just ask you then, since you're a moral guy, how many cows would you slaughter for one person?
Okay, I'll do this. Okay,
just say an average.
No,
person.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to engage in that. Okay, but I'll engage you this way. Okay, let's say that there is an immorality score of 1 to 10,000. Okay, let's say that like murdering a human is negative 10,000. Okay, that's the worst.
Hold on, one second. I'm gonna need to repeat this. Everyone who's fucking trolling in chat, like fucking Tomsy and everyone else, enjoy it now because when I'm done going through these fucking logs, and good luck. I'll see you in a fucking year, kid. All right, so go ahead, get it out. Feel real chat like, oh Dan, oh megalo, oh great argument. You're gonna be fucking saying that to a black box that says you are banned. Contact bans at destiny.gg. All right, motherfucker. All right, now go ahead. Lucky I fucking come on here and make any conversation, otherwise we'd be talking about the fucking gym. So shut the fuck up, stupid motherfucker. You know what? No, I was about to end it and fucking talk about gyms right now, but I'm not gonna do it. Just shut the fuck up. No one gives a shit about your fucking dipshit fucking comments, okay? You're a fucking no one. A fucking moron that knows nothing of nothing. That's why you're fucking sitting here watching me talk, bitch. So sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. All right, now go. Start over again.
If murdering a human is negative 10,000, if we say that's the worst thing,
what, karma credits?
what, just on some arbitrary scale, okay?
Sure.
A
Okay.
vegan would say that like murdering him is negative 10,000, right? We might say that like raping somebody is like negative 5,000 or something, right? That's also really bad.
Well, it depends who you ask, but yeah, sure.
And then we might say that like stealing is like negative 300. Okay. You know, arson, that's like a negative
hating your life, then,
2,000.
working class Andy.
Right. We might like rank these this way. Okay. Killing a human would be negative 10,000. Killing an animal would be like negative 9,500. It would be up there. Maybe not as bad as killing a human, but it would be up there.
No shot.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, this is not fair then. So if I ask you to choose, okay, I'm asking you to choose, okay, not in some arbitrary fucking moral fucking Jenga puzzle here. I'm not talking a real thing. In one room, there's a determinate amount of fucking cows, okay, and in the other room, there's fucking Apples in the other room, okay? How many cows does it take where Apples is getting the axe? What's that number for you?
For me, I don't know, probably like 20 million because I don't give a fuck about animals, but I'm not a vegan. Are you asking like
Okay.
if I was giving a vegan argument or?
Sure, if you're a vegan and there's just an average person in there.
Who knows? Probably 5 or 10, maybe.
I think that's being completely uncharitable. And the answer, I think, for most people would be like, well, this doesn't. First off, I don't think most vegans would be willing to answer it at all. But if they did, it's in the thousands, tens of thousands, or
Man,
hundreds
even
of
if
thousands.
it, okay, Dan, even if that was the case, even
Yeah.
if it was the case that the number would be really, really, really high, that's not what we're comparing here. We're not talking about murdering humans instead of animals or murdering animals instead of humans. We're talking about humans murdering animals for enjoyment because they taste good. It's fundamentally a different type of exchange that we're making. So the comparison between like murdering humans versus murdering animals, like if you're trying to draw some like arbitrary valuation of like each life, you can do it. But that's not generally the exchange that's being made. It's not about murdering. Like this is why every single vegan in the world will say that like, because this is like the level one. What if you were on an island and you were starving to death?
Okay.
The only thing you could eat were animals. Every vegan would be like, yeah, of course. In that case, fine, you can eat animals, but you don't need to eat animals to live.
Inaction is
No,
inaction.
it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It absolutely. Inaction is an action.
Okay.
I don't know how you could not see the case by you.
Then you
doing
would
this
rape the
thing.
woman every day. If I
No,
offered you,
because that is asking me to take an action to do something.
yeah, but
To
then you're
doing-
not donating $1,000 every day to a woman's shelter. So you would rape the woman every single day to donate that money.
First off, you're gonna have to do a different analogy because I'm not getting fucking clips saying any of this shit right now. Okay. So
If I offered you $10,000 a day to rape a woman, but you get to donate all of
No,
that money.
I'm not answering any of these questions.
Okay, fine.
'cause
Okay, fine. Not a woman. A child. If I offered you 10,000
No,
days.
I'm definitely not answering this question. Hello? How about like if I run over a fucking poodle or something? I don't fucking know.
Okay, if you could run over a woman with a car that
Okay,
had dildos for tires.
We gotta move the fuck on. Okay. I'll listen. I think you understand the point I'm trying to say here is I feel like if you're advocating for a cause, okay, I feel that it's selfish to advocate for veganism when you could instead
hating your life, then,
advocate
working
for
class
something
Andy.
which would save human lives.
No, this is like there's a literal name for this fallacy. It's like the lack of attention fallacy. You can't say like, oh, well, like, why would we do this cause when we could do another one that's even better? Like, you can argue that for everything. Like, different people care about different things at different points in their life by varying amounts. You can't tell
Yeah,
people
and
to not.
it's bad.
No, it's
bad
not
if they do it.
bad.
It
It's
is
not bad. Not optimal doesn't make something bad.
Veganism costs lives.
Well,
QED.
that's Dan the serial raper because
Whoa, no, because that's an action. Okay, what I do every day is my.
and what you'd
What I
be
do
doing
every
is
day.
not donating $10,000 every day to a woman's shelter. You're actually murdering women by.
Well, no, because what,
You're murdering
first off,
women.
what you're saying is not based in reality. What I'm saying is today is the case that by not being veganism, you will have more money. That if you care about being moral and following, and you care about, which I assume is the main reason that people argue for veganism, is they saying it's immoral. But if you care about morals, you will de facto have more money and save more human lives as a result of not being veganism. There's no fucking weird thing like if I don't wear a shirt every day, I'm going to save 1,000 women or something. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, but there's no other. Can you think of a single other example of all of societal behavior, human behavior, where you would be offered money to do an immoral action and you think that makes it okay?
Can I think of something where
A single
you're-
thing that's equivalent to this. You're telling a vegan to engage in an immoral action because they might save a little bit of money that they could donate. Can you think of any other thing like this in all of society that would make this an acceptable exchange?
Not off the top of my head, but
Okay,
I
well
don't.
let's take a minute.
I can't.
Let's take a minute and think.
Well, no, I'm not that fast on my
No, that's
feet,
okay. We
so-
can take all the time in the world. You got chat. You got time. We're chilling.
Okay, wait. What's the question again? Sorry, let me. I gotta.
Is
I gotta
there
put this
anything
together.
else in society where you could do a bad thing, but you get paid money for it, and that becomes a good thing? Because you can use that money to offset the bad thing.
You do a bad thing and you get paid for it.
And
let
then
me
you
think.
use the money that you get paid for to offset the bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hunting in Africa.
What do you
Boom! You just got
Wait,
fucking
how?
destroyed.
Wait, how?
Oh my god!
How is
I
that a
did
bad?
it. Fuck,
Wait, how is that a
misspoke, though.
bad thing?
Well, it's a bad thing because you're killing like an endangered species. There's like fucking 10 of them or something like that.
Wait, but nobody thinks that's a good. You think poachers in Africa hunting endangered species are good things?
What shenanigans are you pulling right now? What?
Wait, what are you talking about shenanigans?
Okay, a bad thing is probably killing like a fucking rhinoceros or something where there's like 100 of them.
When you pay
Yes?
to go hunt in Africa, you're not paying to hunt endangered
Oh no
species.
no! This is where you're wrong. Okay, so I want you to take a step back. They sell licenses that are incredibly expensive to hunt really fucking rare animals. Okay.
Oh sure,
And you
but I
pay,
think
like,
that most people would say that's a
well, I
bad
just-
thing.
It is a bad thing, and you get paid money for it, but it becomes a good thing because all of the money that they collect for the fees actually goes to doing preservation, and you save in the end thousands of those as a result of that.
Nobody would say that. What? No.
That's a literal program that exists right now.
Nobody would say that. No, literally
What do
nobody
you mean?
would say that.
You don't have to say it. It exists.
Nobody. No, it doesn't.
It does.
Where people go and pay money to hunt.
Endangered animals. Yes.
Hold on. Are you talking about? Okay, hold on. Are you talking about animals that are specifically kept on a preservation that are made for hunting?
No, I don't think that it works that way. I think.
Hold
that
on,
it's like
hold on. Wait. We need to be clear because there's two different things that you could be talking about.
You're trying to weasel out.
I'm
of
not
this.
trying to weasel. I just don't think you know what you're talking about. Okay. I
don't think you know what you're talking about.
Okay, well then
You
let's
can
see.
play that
Okay,
game.
there are two different types of hunting expeditions that you can go on in Africa.
Okay.
Right. My understanding is that there are people that you can pay to go and do like ethical hunts. So you're paying to go, like the dentist guy I think tried to pay to do this, right? But I think they wandered off the reservation. You can pay to go hunt specific animals, but there is also illegal hunting that you can pay to do that aren't like protected areas where you're supposed to hunt. These are two fundamentally different things. Are you talking about? You're talking about the idea
I'll
of like,
explain to you better. Okay. Let's say that there's only 30 purple rhinos left in the fucking world. Okay, that's it. There's 30 of them ever. Okay, they're all in Botswana. Botswana, they're selling a fucking hunting permit where you can kill one purple rhino, but it costs $5 million.
yeah, okay. I understand what you're saying now. Okay. Nobody would view this as bad because these hunting.
You're
Hold on.
actually wrong.
I'm not
is what
wrong.
most
I'm not
people
wrong.
do.
I'm not wrong. Okay. People wouldn't view this as bad because the animals that you're talking about hunting are not animals that are like in like roaming the wilderness and you're just like killing the last of an endangered species. These are animals that are specifically set aside for hunting.
No, they're not.
Okay, you got to link me something. I don't believe you. You have to link me something. I'm
well,
not gonna
I-
believe
well,
you otherwise. Yeah.
okay.
Oh wait.
Well, why do I have to go do the fucking Google work? Someone in chat will fucking do it. This is a real thing. It's like there's only 20 of these fucking animals left in the fucking world.
If there are
They're all
literally
roaming
only
around somewhere
if
in
there are literally
Botswana.
only 20 of these animals left, or like 100 left, and you're paying
Yep.
for a license to go and
To shoot
actually
one.
hunt protected populations or whatever, I don't
No,
think most
one.
people would view this as a good thing. I don't think most people are like, oh yeah,
No,
that's
I-
good. It's
I-
good that people do it.
What the fuck? That's my argument. Yeah, most people would say this is fucked up, but it's good because all of the money that is taken from this goes to preserving the other 99.
What if like 100 people buy a license though and kill them all?
They don't sell 100. They sell
Okay,
one,
then
and
it's like a
raffle.
specially set aside thing then.
No, it's not.
It,
It's
you're
not
talking
like
about a
there's
limited
fucking
license. It
giant-
literally is. It's limited by what you just said, by
Wait,
definition.
I don't even know what we're fucking arguing. I just know that I won, and you're trying to weasel out. You're very
No,
good.
you're.
but
It's
I'm
not.
better.
We're not weaseling. You're making
know
it
what?
sound like anybody go. So you're talking about a limited, exclusive license to go and kill one of some population, right? While the
You're
entirety of the
like
so you're not
that,
actually
Andy.
hunting anything into extinction. It's like a specially set aside thing. In which
You're
case, most
doing
people,
a harm. Wait, you asked me for an example of something where you can pay to do something of something bad, and then you make money as a result of it. And the example of this is I'm going to sacrifice an animal that's under my care to be killed for fucking sport. You're not going to even eat the motherfucker for money, and it's a positive good as a result. I feel like I won this, and you're just like very sneaky in the way that you do this, so it makes it seem like I didn't win.
I'll be waiting for you to shoot me an article about these hunting expeditions. Okay.
They're out there. I don't know. Someone will fucking do a Reddit post about it after, but I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but yeah, back to
you'd rape the woman then? Just say that.
not gonna say that because that is not something that I do. Okay,
Well,
ever.
eating an animal is something you do, which is.
That is something that I do
But
on
you're
a
saying that
day-to-day
should be
basis.
unethical.
I don't have to change anything about the way that I live every day as a result of that.
I don't know why that's relevant, but okay.
Okay, so it's an act of you're the one who was arguing before for doing versus not doing something, right? And if it's different or the same. And I'm saying that every day I do a certain amount of things. I have the things I like, the things I don't like, and I'll do the things that I'm like. If you want me to change something, that's an action. You want me to do an action. If you want me to fucking do the same shit I'm doing every day, that's fine. I can continue doing the same things I'm every day. So by trying to get someone to become vegan, you're trying to make them take an action to do something differently, okay, than what they're doing every day. And I'm saying that by using that effort to have someone to go and become vegan, okay, and as a result waste $5 and waste that effort that could have been advocated for a more worthy cause, that you're causing a moral harm by not instead advocating for, like, you know, genocide victims or something like that.
You know what, Dan? I think you should debate vegan gains on this. If I find them, will you do it?
No. That's why I'm doing you.